What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails Through Daybreak. Last time, we were continuing on our 4 SPGs, and we are looking for Dingo's Notebook at the moment. So we are continuing to do so with that. It seems our friend with the taxi cab and the sunglasses may know where it is if he doesn't have him himself. So let's go ahead and see if we can... Oh, he's over there. Well, his car is anyway. But let's see who's in here first. Oh boy, this is a meeting. Nice little party you guys got here. Don't mind if I do. Well, if it isn't Aaron and the Ark Ride crew, good to see you've kept well. Never thought I'd see a Bracer, a Heyu Elder, a Marduk security chief, and the CID head all banded together like this. Can't deny it makes me a bit on edge, though. Types from both sides of the law tend not to mix well. I assure you it's a much less charged than you make it out to be. We're just exchanging information, confirming agreements. Please, pay us no mind. Kasim. You look busier than ever, Mr. Al-Fayed. Oh, I haven't seen you since Arashian. We were actually just talking about how to go about cleaning up that mess. Taking care of the Almata remnants, you mean? Yeah, we smoked out pretty much all the hideouts they had left. We're taking our own measures, of course, mostly concerning Almata's trade and supply routes. The more problematic trade routes have been taken care of. Hey, you will see to the rest. Bet that's just what you were hoping for. We also did uncover some artifacts they've been using. The church is handling those. Yeah, Celis and Leon took care of that. That's one problem solved. Cool. Nice to not have that looming over the festival. In truth, that's why I'm here. The festival has the full support of the Kowloon group this year. That, of course, does lead to some overlap between us and Marduk, so I'm here to make sure we don't step on each other's toes, so to speak. I can't tell you much, I'm afraid. Only the general approach HQ is taking. You'll have to wait 3 days for more in-depth negotiations. Mr. Thorndike will hold a meeting to go over our itinerary. Well, then you're right. Probably now isn't the best time. Can't go jumping the gun. They're discussing all sorts of things from the looks of it. Yeah, nothing to do with us, though. On the contrary, I do have some information you might find useful. We're still tracking down some Almata holdouts that have taken to the underground, along with some of the hate groups they use for their ends. Leftovers, huh? And Melchior is still on the run, too. Can't count them out just yet. He pulls those thugs back up, and we'll have Almata 2 on our hands. Indeed, and he's quite the wild card. We haven't seen any movements from him as of late. But then, that means he hasn't been contacting said remnants either. The guild's working on exposing Almata's business ties. We want to pull it all out by the roots. Elaine and some S-ranks from HQ are in charge of that. Gotcha, how's she doing out of curiosity? Sorry, can't say for sure. She should be back tomorrow, though. I'm sure she'd appreciate a nice warm welcome when she gets home. Butt out, bucko. Well, so much for that. Well, that car has the checkered pattern. That's gotta be it. That's the taxi. The driver's gotta be close. Let's sniff him out. That was easy. Giordano, that's his name. Oh well, if it isn't Big Boy with a cute girl hugging his arm. What? Never thought you'd ask me about that name and notebook. Wonders never cease, huh? Ah. Looks like we found our guy. So word is you were scratching Dingo's back every now and then. Yep, I may not look it, but I used to run all over the Republic taking odd jobs on the down low. I was on this smuggling route once, and bam, I bumped right into him. That's how we met. Must have been, 10 years ago? Dingo would have been around 20, I think. Ah, right. So do you know how he got tangled up with Almata back then, too? Oh my boy, do I ever. That was what led him to ask me for help out of the city that day. I snuck him out just like that. He hopped on a bus for Krail, and then I was the last I saw of him. In retrospect, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have let this dumbass do it. It wasn't your fault, Giordano. Don't beat yourself up over it. You weren't the one who killed him. It was Almata. Not even. Dante's owned that shitheel. You're right, yeah. I heard he got what was coming to him at the old capital. I bet Dingo's laughing up there. I'm happy karma came around for the bastard. I hope it makes him feel better. He really regretted being the guy's broker in the past. Dante's really wasn't the same guy once he took over. So that's his background, huh? Not trying to justify him, but Dante's used to have a good rep on the streets. He had a code and he stuck to it. And that let people trust him. That's weird. Why'd he change? No wonder he ended up so popular. With how much everybody hated the head honcho before him, he got Dingo hook, line, and sinker. Dingo was his informant, fed him the info he needed, and to bring the old guy down. And now, in its stead, we have this monster he built. A monster, you say? A fitting title for him. I'm not too privy on what happened beyond that, so I don't want to speculate. So you're looking for Dingo's old notebook, and you think I've got it? Bingo. Please, may I please have it? Well, I'd love to give it to you, but I'm afraid I can't. Why not? Is there something he wanted done first? What? Pretty boy said it was for your eyes only? Well, he told me to keep an eye out for this Spriggan guy and a newbie reporter. If anything happened to him, he wanted me to give this key here to whichever of you two I bump into first. Oh. So what is this key for? Looks like a key for a station coin locker, like you see around the subway. Spot on. He said he stashed it in the easiest locker he could find. I'm not sure what he meant by that, though. I have no idea which station it's at. Got it. The easiest locker he could find. Where would that be? Well, that about gives it away. Oh, could it be the one by Van's office? Probably. Let's head on back and take a look. Thanks a bunch, Giordano. Maybe I'll make it up to you with a joyride one of these days when I feel like it. Haha, you just call me anytime you're plastered and I'll be your DD. Is that drunk driver? Well, you heard him. Station locker up here. How you doing, Raymond? Urakai Kitsu-san. That kit we got from the driver probably goes to one of the coin lockers here. What do you say? Should we check out what's inside? Gulp. Absolutely, I'm ready. Okay, let's head in. Alright, let's look at the notebook. This is something, alright. I didn't get to talk to Dingo much, but I know for a fact he was an outstanding man. Indeed, not just anyone could pursue Almata to the degree he did without backup. It was probably his way of making amends for the role he played in Dante's rise to power. These notes mention how the previous boss family was murdered too. Even they didn't get spared. That's horrible. Such a heavy burden for him to carry. But that wasn't his fault. He couldn't have known that's what would happen. I can't imagine he felt like he could be in the public eye anymore after that. And that's why he took me under his wing, a good-for-nothing rookie. It appears he compiled quite a few notes about the ringleaders we took down Arashian as well. Yeah, let's take a look. Sure, why not? Okay. Originally from a minor noble family in the Caudice region in the Central East. Her family fell into bankruptcy after Caudice annexation by Valis, Viola herself being sold to a wealthy merchant so they can make ends meet. She soon fell into the hands of a criminal organization that was targeting the merchant. Though initially nothing more than a plaything and an object of pleasure, she eventually managed to oust the boss and wrestle control into her own hands. Her brutal leadership reputation precedes her. When 2 years later, the group tried to expand their influence into Calvert, they got caught at the attention of Almata. Conflict with them was brief, as they were quickly obliterated by Dantes, whom Viola swore loyalty to afterward. As a consequence of her turbulent past, she incredibly depended on Dantes, which might be the reason she harbors a fierce rivalry with her fellow Melchior. Their positions equivalent within the organization. Though the body of her needle gun was produced by Zect Arms, the full piece is not part of their official lineup. Further research regarding the origin of her weapon is needed. Okay. Born in the Principality of Northumbria in the northwestern Zemuria, he was 5 years old when the Salt Pale appeared, sowing chaos in his homeland. Him and his father, then protectors of the ruling family, fled along Prince Balmund when he fled the country. Spent most of his childhood and adolescent years in the free city of Taslim. Trained by his father in the traditional military arts of their homeland, he served the former ruling family until the age of 25, though his life was soon thrown into chaos. His father and he were both ordered to retake Northumbria following the death of the Northern Jaegers figurehead, the current ruler since Prince Balmund's escape. After their assault on Northumbria's capital, Haliask, they managed to seize control of the city for a time, acting as its effective government before being overthrown by the Northern Jaegers. Wow, this is a lot. This ensured a massacre of the remaining civilians in Haliask, mandated by the crazed former Prince Balmund, standing in opposition with one another. Alexander and his father dueled to the death. Alexander emerged victorious. Okay, we know all this. Before withdrawing from the battlefield, though his current whereabouts are unknown, it is believed that Prince Balmund was swiftly and secretly executed by the Northern Jaegers following his capture. Wandering from one corpse to another, Alexander eventually scouted out Dantes himself and was brought into leadership position within Almata. Though outwardly austere and restrained, he's merciless in combat, sparing none who dare cross him. His ultimate goal being the search for his final resting place. He has rejected any attempt at persuading him to leave Almata. Despite the mechanized gauntlets he wields not being part of their official lineup, it does appear they were developed by Zect Arms. Okay. Wow, she was only 19. Little is known about her, although she allegedly hails from a remote village in eastern Zemuria. Rumors say the entire village was comprised of heretical puppeteers who worshipped a doll made in the image of an angel. Oh, we know all that. Though, to be an artifact of some sort, the doll was looked after by a medium. The village's gruesome customs mandated that those close to the medium were offered as sacrifices. These sacrifices spared no one, not friends nor family, though soon tragedy befell the village, leaving Olympia and the doll alone to wander the continent after the demise of all they knew. Multiple records suggest instances of criminals being slaughtered when encroaching on the wandering pair. She was later inducted into the Gardens, the assassin organization, and made the overseer the Guard of Arum. Though it appears she's mostly left to her own devices after being invited by the other overseers, including Melchior and the Emperor. If I were to guess, the incident took place in her village, led to her angel developing a psychologically interdependent relationship, resulting in her autonomy and emotional expression diminishing. In light of the crisis that's made the Gardens join forces, she may have had a chance to reclaim the lost capacity, albeit an incredibly slim one. This is a lot. Ario, age over 150. In contrast to the confirmed leaders of Almata and the Garden Overseers, eyewitness reports of him are very few. What we do know of him, the Garden of Rust Overseer, is that he's a very dangerous man clad in heavy armor. Much of the information about him stretches belief, including how he was supposedly born in a different time period altogether, over 150 years ago. If he was, he's said to proceed from the mythical Holy Iskon Empire, an enormous nation believed to have laid just across the Tianshan and Ishgal Mountains to Calvard's east. This empire is presumed to have vanished following calamity 130 years ago. So he was like 20 years old when this happened. In its heyday, 9 groups served to protect the Royal Imperial line. Eastern sources indicate that he was a warrior who resented the Rahu, a tribe of white descent, hailing from the west. I'm inclined to believe it's all bullshit. But in an age where immortals like the Lance Maiden can exist in Erebonia, I can't rule out the possibility of there being some truth to it either. That's true. Whether it's true or not, evidence might suggest his armor being strangely shaped. The battle axe might be artifacts. His strangely shaped battle axe might be artifacts. Considering his joining of the Garden and the story straight claiming his immortality, that might be highly likely. On top of that, he's the primary suspect regarding the Eisenschild's annihilation in the outskirts of Krail, though I can't say that for a fact. More information is needed. And lastly, Melchior. 21. One of Almata's 3 pillars, and quite possibly its most evil, sinister member. He doubles down as the Garden's ringleader and the overseer of the Garden of Thorns. Melchior's skills don't fall behind any of his artifact-wielding peers, being highly skilled in the use of the orbital net, and being capable of infinitely spawning and freely controlling explosives. Beyond that, he also acts as Almata's main strategist and Dante's right-hand man and confidant, and possibly his lover. Though his past is shrouded in mystery, his origins might trace back to the same organization, the Oathbreaker, and one of Ouroboros' Anguis also comes from. The Order of the Moonlight Horse existed since the Middle Ages, where the Oathbreaker sat among his top brass for the longest time before losing to Ouroboros and switching sides. He's an entirely different matter and a major threat all on his own. Wrapping this back around, Melchior might have been a direct subordinate of the Oathbreaker before going on to take in the scattered remnants of the infamous cult. If that's true, that would make him something of a prince of the underworld. For someone as powerful as him to idolize Dante so much is nothing short of ominous and concerning, to say the least. Another thing that concerns me is him staying in Krail's vicinity following the Eisenschild turning into ghouls. Krail's not just some sleepy village with beautiful vistas. More than a tourist spot, it lies between several forces working from the shadows. It also happens to be one of the few places in northern Calvard with a sizable eastern and central eastern population. Knowing the source of Almata's financing, actually, I'd rather not speculate any further. Oh, Dante's. Gerard Dante's. If I let my feelings take away, Dante's could fill every page in this notebook. There's not a single night where I'm not overcome with regret, and this notebook is not meant for my personal thoughts. Most things I've come to learn about him and his life are a little eyebrow-raising. Him being a member of DG Cult before joining Almata, being related to Calvard's old royal family, perhaps even a direct descendant. The tales of his sword are equally hard to believe. A gigantic blade of black and silver, thought to be an artifact hidden by the royal family. This demon blade was an instrument which he slew Enrique, Almata's previous head. Hard as these tales are to believe, their true purpose is to strike fear into the hearts of those who hear him, to make Dante's nothing short of the living manifestation of shadows and agony. Deep as the abyss and equal as alluring, his unquenchable thirst for fear is what draws many to him. Seductive and enchanting, it has earned him many loyal followers. But where does such unfathomable hunger come from? A new hypothesis surfaced recently, which might finally explain things. Its source, however, is a little unusual, and I'm not particularly keen to take it at face value. But that's neither here nor there. The more pressing issue is his goal in Basil, and that him and the others might have been after something else. His true goal, I imagine, fear. The wanton need to bring about true dread and terror to the masses. He wasn't able to achieve it with the help of a genius, but that will not put a stop to him. He'll stop at nothing to achieve his mission. Looking into this matter should take priority. Regardless, he sure managed to pull a fast one on me in Tharbad. I was distracted by that call, but that's no excuse. I should have seen through him much sooner than I did, but try as he might to stay one step ahead, I'll forever be hot on his heels.
例の記録方法は確保し、この手帳を残す段取りも固めた。ここから先は彼との真剣勝負。情報屋として、ルポライターとして、一世一代の大博打に出るだけだ。そして、もし無事に戻れたら、先ほどの仮説についても改めて確かめてみるとしよう。その前に、不器用な弟分のようなあいつや、先行きが不安でもあり、楽しみでもある後輩にどやされてしまいそうではあるが、それもまた楽しみの一つというものだ。
Oh man, that was a lot.
ティンゴさん、ティンゴさん。
バカ野郎が。不器用なのはどっちだ。
This dude was totally nuts. How the hell did he find it in him to let him go that far? I can only imagine his love and care for others spurring him on to gather this information. He was both a clever and kind man. And he wasn't just trying to make amends or settle his score. I don't doubt he genuinely worried for everyone's future. It goes without saying, but it's a true shame. He was taken from us far too young. I'm so glad you two were able to find his notes. Likewise, it must have been the will of the goddess. Once Mariel collected herself, the party drove back to Tyrell Times. After reporting their success to the editor-in-chief, they got back to work. As for Dingo's notes, once its contents were copied, it was decided that Mariel would hold on to the originals for safety.
は上出来だ。
報酬が振り込まれたわ。
Oh, there we go. You okay, Van? Huh? Yeah, I'm fine. Just thinking. Is there something bothering you? Guessing the stories about the gangsters of Almata Remnants are on your mind. Yeah. If Bermati, Jack, and Killica were all talking about them, it's definitely worth mulling over. We've heard something interesting while following up with Mr. Brad's case as well. You're referring to the account of them being sighted in the Tyrell district, correct? Oh yeah, now you mention it, it is kind of worrying. Maybe we should drop by Tyrell just in case, you know? Not a bad idea. Can't hurt to check the area out again. We can probably rule out the busier parts of the district. Same for the area near the restaurant that's run by Heiyu. Alright, well let's do this last point with little Yume. Advanced group to say, yeah, okay. Gah! Yeesh, sounds pretty serious. Must be tough getting old. Careful you don't throw out your back, Victor. Think about all the piggyback rides you'll be depriving your daughter of. Ugh, not happening. Grandpa, are you okay? I think you'd better take the day off, man. Are you nuts? I can't take time off over a few aches and pains. Not only do I have our regulars and reservations to handle, but today and tomorrow are inventory stocking days. Those are crucial. We also need to start making test batches for the Revolution Festival menu. Grandpa, you can rest. It's okay. Mommy and I can handle it. Aw, thank you, Yume. Just hearing those words makes your grandfather feel strong. Ah. I think that settles it. You need help in the kitchen today. Period. Tell you what, if you think I'm up to the task, I'll take over the kitchen for a while. I can't do it all day, but it's the least I can do. You've been cooking a lot for me throughout the years. I don't recall you owing me for any of it, you punk. Very well, but I'm not going to abandon the kitchen. I don't like it, but you can help out during rush hour. I'm going to supervise your cooking, and don't expect me to go easy on you just because you're doing me a favor either, understood? Fair enough. Your joint, your rules. Just tell me what to do, boss. Yay, thanks, Van. I'll help with the customers. With that, Van took his post in Monmar kitchen and got to cooking. Look at him. You're cutting the cabbage wrong. Slice it more finely. I love this. Like this? No, even more. Like this? Now that's too fine. No, don't stir so fast. I thought you said you didn't want it to burn. Which is it? Both. Keep stirring so it doesn't burn, but also don't do it too fast. Once that's ready, go grab a bag of flour and a can of milk from the pantry. Hang in there, Van. You can do it. Heh, it's clear as day whose dish looks more appetizing. Sheesh, when did this become a competition, huh? You're the pro, of course yours is better. But I think my stuff holds its own just fine. Presentation's not too shabby either, at least. You think, huh? Don't get cocky, punk. You still got a lot to learn. We'll see about that. Let's taste them and find out. Good to see your back hasn't put a damper on your spirit, Victor. If I didn't know any better, I'd almost think you two were having some nice father-son bonding time. I'll have to take your word for it. Don't really know how that's supposed to look. Good thing he isn't my actual son, or I would have disowned him after all the trouble he's caused around here. The rush hour continued apace with Van and Victor yelling at one another in the kitchen, their hands full with customers' orders. Ados, your old man really likes cracking the whip. My arms are sore. I ain't gonna be lifting anything heavier than my Ziffa today. You'll survive, Van. You're too young to be worn out. Still, thanks for helping my dad today. It means a lot. It's not much, but here's a little something on the house. Oh, damn, you didn't have to do this. But thanks, Paulette. My dad's really fired up after that. He put extra effort just for you. You didn't have to tell him that. Oh, really now? Well, I appreciate that. This'll hit the spot after an afternoon of backbreaking work in that kitchen. Even I have to admit, when a good-for-nothing son has earned his keep. Aww! I speak from experience when I say this. A family can take on many forms. Maybe it only has one parent. Maybe it has no one in it, even... Wait, or maybe no one in it is even related by blood. Point is, there's no right way to be a family. You get to define what your family is and which bonds you cherish. Wow. Couldn't have said it better myself. Careful though, I don't think I'm the only potential son in the picture. Like hell, Gehenna will freeze over if I count that two-timing scumbag as one of my own. I never named any names. I can only imagine who you two might be talking about. Grandpa's right. You and me are Aww. Did I get a good screenshot there, or was she like half blinking at whatever? I'll always be with you, Van. I promise. Aww. You sure can melt a grown-up's heart. But you should be real careful making promises like that at that age. But thank you, Yums. It means a lot. Don't care what you think. If you disappoint my sweet innocent granddaughter, you're going to be in a world of pain, you brat. What he really means is, take care of yourself, Van. He worries you might be overdoing it at your job sometimes. Paulette, you could have kept that part to yourself. I hear you. I'll be careful out there. That was sweet. Because realistically, yeah, they are like his family because they took him in when he had nothing. And he's been living here for, like, what? The last, like, good 7 years? Alright, let's head to the Tyrell District. Well, looky here. Isn't it usually locked? It is. Where does all this alleyway lead? Down to the waterways beneath Tyrell District. As far as I know, the only traffic this way is a maintenance team once a month. Now, I ain't an ace detective, but something's telling me this wasn't their doing. The handle's gone? This may have been done recently. Whoever removed it may have inhuman strength, or maybe it was a martial artist, or perhaps... I think the most prudent course may be to enter and discover the truth for ourselves. What about calling the rest of the group? This handle is broken too. There's no mistake, whoever did this just yanked the thing clean off. Then they didn't use a tool after all. What an absurd show of strength. There are a lot of fresh footprints in front of the door too. Looks like we got some huge-ass rats to flush out. You got that right. Let's have a look inside. Heads up though, there's no telling what's waiting for us in there. Be ready for anything, understand? Got it. We should have time to stock up on equipment and items if need be. What about the other... What about the other teammates? Are they not coming with us? Oh, okay. I can hear water running in the distance. There's a bunch of footprints here, too. The number of prints outside indicate as much, but we seem to be dealing with a rather large group. Everything points to them being remnants of Almata and the gangs that serve them, too. Oh. Oh, no. It stopped. Could it be an omen, or is it reacting to a vestige of something? That light served as a valuable guide to us in Arashian as well. Sure seems like there's something here. Yeah, Agnes, make sure the backup crew is on standby. We might need them here at a moment's notice. Right. Well, they said everyone, so... We're only gonna go for a good, like, 10 more minutes, though. There they are. It's all over. We're finished. This can't be happening. What do we do to deserve this? The hell's gotten into you guys? Eek! Who are you? You're here for a fight? I'm a Spriggan from here in Edith. Part of my crew's job is helping people who can't turn to the Gilder Cops for aid. So, if there's something you need help with, we might be able to give it to you. Won't you at least talk to us? You're a Spriggan? I think I might have heard of you at some point. Now that I get a better look, you've got some real babes with you, huh? Don't let them trick you! The only Spriggan in Edith is from Arkwright Solutions. The guy who kept going up against the beast at the top of Almata. Now that you mention it, if they take us in and manage to get anything out of us... No! I don't want to die! Damn it. They're clearly not in a sound mind right now. If we factor in their behavior with the state of the doorknob outside, they've got to be on something. Yep. Oh no. It's Almata's enhancement drugs. Here they come. No! Die! Let's cut him up. Yeah, I don't want these guys doing all this. If we don't do something to stop them from taking us in, Melchior and that armor guy are gonna... Figures. Their fear really runs that deep. Melchior's on the run and we took out Ario personally. The same goes for their boss, Dantes. There's no one who can harm you anywhere, you don't need to worry. So please just let us help you. Really? Don't let them fool you. If they find out we betrayed them... Sorry, girls, I never want to doubt a cutie, but... It's a fate worse than death that's waiting for us. I'd rather do the deed myself. Oh, God. No! Don't do it! Damn it. I can't make it in time. Thanks for the help. What? Ooh. Thanks, Kincaid, for the assist. They're fine, they're just unconscious. Guess that's a rebound from using a power their bodies just couldn't handle. That's a relief, but what just happened? Give me a break. Timed your entrance perfectly now, didn't you?
つい先ほど来たくらいだ。
It's that damn desk jockey again. His aim was so precise. Thank you very much for your help.
礼には及ばんさ。それとも一つ貸しにしておくか?
This should be either a guild's problem or something your side should have handled from the start. Your boss mentioned how these guys had slipped through the cracks of your cleanup operation. Feels like you did a sloppy job to me. Not at all, this was the most efficient approach to the problem. We performed a thorough cleaning of the major cities outside of Edith, and drove all the leftovers here. We do have a Hercules unit standing by that we could send in at a moment's notice. But I wonder if we should outsource the work to you instead. Son of a bitch. It all makes sense now. All the fragmented information we gathered from all over the city did seem to fit together remarkably well. We never stopped to think that it was deliberately spread by you to lead us here. That's all it was? That was the intention, though whether you were able to follow the clues was down to you.
オラシオンではルールのせいで現地で直接絡めなかったからな。俺とお前とあいつの思い出の地。抜け書きされた腹いせとでも思うがいい。
Heh, I call bullshit. You ain't the sentimental type. Still, she's gonna be back in town tomorrow. And I know she'd give me an earful if I left any problems unsolved, so I guess I can just help you this once. Get a damn room, you wrinkly old farts. We'll help too, of course. How many more of these troublemakers can we expect in here? We believe there are to be roughly 30, 20 thugs and 10 former Almata members. Damn, even got a breakdown. Sure are a lot of them though, huh? We should contact the others at the office and have them come along to assist us. The two reserve members hurried from Arkwright Solutions' office. As the road forked ahead, they decided to split their groups into two, with Van and Kincaid leading the charge. These two teams should work. We're with Mr. Kincaid, huh? Heh, judging by his aim earlier, he won't drag us down in battle at least. Oh, I assure you, these teams were decided purely on combat balance. You can count on me to support you in battle. I'll even throw in some old stories about Van as a bonus. What? Really? Now I'm in. Hey! Maybe being in the other group wouldn't be so bad after all. I want to know his weaknesses too. You'll have to spill later. Can do. Can don't. I won't ask for anything that might count as a weakness, don't worry. But you're still up for anything else that doesn't? We should get moving, we're short on time. As we agreed, Zeros and I will remain here. Contact me when you apprehend any of the suspects. I will see that they get to the CID. Thanks, I know we can always count on you. I appreciate your assistance, Mr. Zeman. We'll need your help too, Zeros. Then let's get this thing started. We gotta make for the other side where the two streets meet. Two routes meet. And take everyone we find along the way. Right. Understood. We've got this. Heh, this is the perfect chance to show off all you've learned under Van. Let's get to work, Team B. Prove you're better at this than he is. Got it. Damn right I am. This isn't a competition. Well, take care, everyone. The same to you, Agnes.
あの調子ならば問題なく片付くであろうな。だが、かすかに漂う隠れ家の気配。
Uh-oh.
精魂な君ではしかと捉えきれぬが、一応備えておくとしよう。
So yeah, he does not have all his powers anymore, so. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna end things off here. So, are we allowed to switch groups? No, okay. There's just gonna be a checkpoint, which the groups will, switch. Alright, so, next time we are going to continue down this pathway and, see where it leads us to the rest of the, remnants we are looking for. So, that's gonna be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe or if you're new to the channel. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.